The 5 questions you should ask a property management company. That's today's video. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris, the president and founder of Morris Invest, longtime real estate investor. And today we're going to talk about the 5 questions you should be asking your property management company before you hire them. Let's dive into it. Number 1, how do you screen your tenants? I mean, it seems like a common question, right? A pretty simple one, but it's one of the most important questions. How do you screen your tenants? Take me through your process. For me, we'll work with a property management team. We work with a couple of fantastic ones that they will do full criminal background checks. They'll verify employment. They'll call up their previous landlords to make sure that they pay on time. They do the credit check, of course. They do an eviction check, so they make sure that they don't have evictions on their record or late payments on their record. So we have really great tenants in all of our properties. So that's not something I worry about. They pay on time. Here's a perfect example of a tenant we just put in one of our properties. 17 years with the U.S. Post Office. She's got 2 daughters. So 17 years as a postal employee, hard worker, loves the property. That's the type of tenants that I want in my property. Number 2, the second question you should ask them is, what percentage of monthly rent do you charge? A common number is between 8 and 12%, sometimes 6 and 12%. A common number you're always going to kind of hit on is around that 10%. So 10% of monthly rent is a common number that you can expect to pay your property management team. And it's a number that I'm happy to pay them. They manage everything. They take care of everything. They collect the rent. They take the phone calls. If there's maintenance problems with the property, they handle it. That 10% is more than worth it. The third question you should ask your property management company is, what happens during an eviction? Now, this is something you don't want to have to think about, but it does happen. Evictions happen. I've personally never had an eviction, knock on wood. But you want to find out from your property management team, are they prepared to handle it? And of course, they should be, right? They should be able to go down to court on your behalf. They should be able to file the paperwork, and they're going to see it through to make sure that that tenant is out of the property. Whether they have to work with the court, get the sheriff in there to remove them and remove their stuff if they don't leave on their own. It can get tricky in certain states, and that's why you also want to ask your property management team, how is it a landlord-friendly city, a landlord-friendly state that I'm dealing with here, or how long are they going to take to get this evicted tenant out of the property? If you're in New Jersey or Florida, those types of places, it can take a long time. But that's why, I like to work in landlord-friendly states where it can move very, very quickly if you had to get a tenant out of the property. So some key questions to ask your property management team about evictions. And question number 4, you want to ask your property management company, what happens during a tenant turnover? Now, the property management teams that I've partnered with, what I love about working with them is that they just charge us the at-cost amount to do a tenant turnover. So paint, carpet, drywall touch-up, those types of things, because they have those materials ready to go. They use the same paint, have the same carpet. Then they're able to get in there quickly, do that tenant turnover, shuffle, do some touch-up, clean it up and get it ready to go and get that next tenant in the property. How long will that normally take? And are they going to charge you for it? Our property management teams that we work with don't charge us the labor on that. We just do the at-cost version of the materials. And so that's why you can ask those questions, and you can find out if you can find a property management team that will do that for you. Are they going to nickel and dime you for every little thing? That's something to consider. I don't work with companies like that. So ask that question, what happens on a tenant turnover? How much can I expect to spend? For me, it's like $300 on a tenant turnover, light paint, carpet, drywall, you're in and out and cleaned up the property and ready to go for the next tenant. And the 5th and final question you should be asking your property management team, what is the vacancy rate in this city? It's a question you might not know the answer to. Especially if you live out of state, you live across state lines, what is the vacancy rate? You may find that the vacancy rate is a little bit, higher than you anticipated. Or maybe that's an indicator that you shouldn't be buying properties in that city. For instance, where I buy most of my properties, around 4 and 5% vacancy rate, 6% vacancy rate. That's below the national average. I think about 7%. But you go to certain cities like Little Rock, Arkansas, or Memphis, Tennessee, or Winston-Salem, and you have 18, 19, 20% vacancy rates. So, important question to ask your property management team. What is the vacancy rate? How quickly can we get these properties up and rented? There's a look at 5 questions you should be asking your property management team before you start working with them. I'm Clayton Morris. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button right here and become a member of this great community. I love working with real estate investors and hearing your stories. Please share your comments in the thread below. We publish videos multiple times a week, so we'll see you back here next time, everyone. Go out there, take action, and become a real estate investor.